Hi, in this slide I want to take a little bit deeper dive into resistance of change to the neurochemical pathways of our brain. There's been a lot of good research that's been done on habits. In fact, a very good investigative reporter, Duhigg, Duhhig, wrote a book on the power of habits, which I highly recommend. Some of the sort of outstanding points are that if we take a rat and we teach them a maze, they can, in about 100 reps, they can do it automatically. If you want to bring them back 6 months later and have them instantly do the maze, they can have a lifetime recall if you do maybe about 200 reps. If we look at very accomplished symphony flute players and look at their brain MRIs, they have hypertrophied parts of their brain that allow them to do their blowing and manipulate their fingers the way they do. Malcolm Gladwell popularized the fact that it takes about 10,000 hours of practice to become really expert at some kinesthetic kind of emotion, or really even if you think about playing chess, it's brain muscles that have to be routinized. I could get into more about habits, how we create them, but more importantly, how we change them. So we have to flowchart kind of what's going on, like, oh, I do this, but what was the trigger for me to then do the habit? If the trigger happens without even consciously aware, I anticipate a result before my habit kicks in. And then because I did my habit, I expect some sort of reward loop, to happen. So how do I overhaul this general process? And in the Power of Habits, the author gives us diagrams and shows us how to intervene and so forth. More than we're going to do, but it's nice to be aware at least at the individual level, what goes on in forming new habits or overriding bad habits. However, when it comes to a company, we've got a whole group of people, and there we can't go down to the individual level. What we more have to do is get people moving in the right direction, and then get everybody around them moving in the right direction, and then change the ecosystem around them so it structurally helps, supports, channels us into new behavior. So that's the idea of taking the kinetic chain and making sure that for a change program, every single step we visit it, we say, okay, what do we have to do with the step to make it internally consistent with and aligned with what we're trying to accomplish from a change viewpoint? And then the book Switch has come up with a handful of tools that are very good, and we'll look into those later on. So although this is nice from an individual viewpoint, and it'd be nice to be aware of this dynamic, as we're dealing with particular people who don't want to move along with the herd, because there always are outliers that just are going to resist. We have to, potentially have our individual toolkit ready. But generally, we're going to start with kind of team, firm habit changing as opposed to individual performance. Thank you.